I have about 20 minutes before my live painting session, and I thought that maybe it's a good time to prepare canvases for tomorrow's session. I'm going to use canvases that I already have. I started something like about a year ago, maybe a little bit more than that, and I never finished the painting, so I decided to just put like a one coat over it with oil painting primer. So basically I have a canvas that I prime with gesso, and then I painted something on it with a thin layer that I don't really like. So I'm going to use oil over oil and make like a thin layer so I can have a white background when I start painting. Also, I really like this primer. I have tried this before. I used it a lot when I was in graduate school, and I found out about it during my BA. It's a very nice primer, and definitely can be used on gesso or over other oil paints. If you have like an old canvas or something, you can try using it, and it gives a little bit of a glossy surface, as well as very slippery, like very glossy and slippery. So it's really good for some types of effects in the painting, which I also like, and that's a good thing about it. So I decided to use my time before I start painting and make good use of it. Now I'm adding balsamic turpentine, just a little bit, not too much. I do that just to thin the oil paint. This oil paint is pretty thick. By thinning it, I don't know if it sticks better to the surface, probably not, nothing like that, but definitely helps to apply the paint. I will quickly sand the surface. As you can see, those are the canvases I mentioned. I started something, never finished, but the canvas is still good, and also I like the fact that there is some type of underpainting, a layer that I can use. Okay, let me sand quickly, and then I'll be back. Okay, this is done. I'll wipe the leftovers of paint, so there is no particles of the paint on it. I'll do it quickly. This is it. As you can see, this is how much of paint I collected. Okay, I'm going to use this brush here and apply the paint. Maybe I should have added a little bit more paint. Maybe it's too much liquid now, too much. The consistency maybe is not good. Well, let me check. Not that bad. I'll just leave it the way it is. It's gonna be a thin layer. It dries about 24 to 48 hours. After 24 hours is actually pretty good to use, but last couple days or last 2 weeks the weather in Dallas is a little bit colder than usual, So I'm assuming that full 1 day, maybe 1.5 days for it to dry, and that's how it looks. I kind of like that what's happening here, so I'm going to leave it this way. Maybe a little more. Yeah, and once it dry, it's a really nice surface to paint. I'm going to leave it flat just because I added turpentine, and I don't want it to go across the canvas and make some leaks. It's pretty straightforward process, pretty fast, no brainer. I'll just go one direction with this canvas. There you go. That way I can really reuse those canvases without throwing them away. They're still good, and also you will give me some layers to work on. You know, there'll be some level of transparency because I added turpentine to the primer. It's not that thick, and it doesn't cover. I would have to put at least 2, maybe 3 layers, maybe 2 layers to completely cover the paint. But I don't want to, because I like what's happening here. It gives me something to work with. Okay, one more, and I'm going to get ready for painting session. There it is. I'll wipe it, and I probably have to start the session. So thank you so much for watching.